So New World's finally here, and I've been getting the question a lot during the live streams on whether or not New World is actually worth jumping into right now at launch. And me personally, I really love this game right now. I am absolutely having the best time of my life. I've been really enjoying this game, but there have been a lot of mixed reactions with just everyone that's been playing, and there are several reasons for this. One is the huge queue times. And this is something that should be expected by now. Every single MMO that ever launches always has this issue. There are never enough servers, and there's just never enough capacity to even hold all the people on these servers. And right now, during a time where live streaming is super huge and there's lots of people with lots of influence bringing people to just one type of server, it can create a lot of issues. So we got people staying in queues for 10 hours just to be able to play with those streamers. Really crazy, and I would never do that, but it is what it is. But then again, recently Disney just released a new ride and they had 4-hour plus queue times too. So they were waiting for long ass time just to spend what, like 5 minutes in a ride, you know, like that's crazy too. But they do it because of hype. But my personal experience, I haven't been having a hard time getting into the server that I joined. I'm playing on the NA East server that's called Norumbega. I don't know how to pronounce it. The main reason why I picked this server is because it had the lowest population at the time of release. So I logged into the game at 8:30 in the morning on launch day, and I saw Valheim, Eden, you know, all the really popular names were all extremely long queue times of like 10,000 people or more. And I filtered it for the lowest I possibly could. And the lowest one was this one. So I'm here. And the longest time that I had to wait in a queue yesterday was 30 minutes. Today I logged in at about 11 a.m. my time. And there was no queue today. So I definitely picked the right server. As far as the future of this server, we will never know. Like it's most likely going to die out. Because when you think about MMO releases, I would say give it at least a week or two before people start quitting the game. Because realistically, not everybody is going to love this game. And people in general have different taste. Just because hype is telling you to go play this game does not mean that you yourself will love the game. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a lot of people dropping off for whatever reasons. And when that happens, the queue times are going to go down. The popular servers will stay popular for the most part, but probably the lower servers like the one I'm on right now will probably die out a little bit. And it's probably going to get to the point where they're going to have to do a server merge. Whenever that happens, it will happen. They already announced that they're going to have free server transfers. So worst case scenario, I could always change to another server if I really wanted to desperately play with other people. Me personally, I'm fine with this game being a single player game, but that's just me. As far as the performance goes, it's been buttery smooth for me. The servers have been running buttery smooth for me, at least the server that I'm on, obviously. But this all depends on where you live and what kind of system specs you have. You can see my specs in the description if you want to. I don't have like the most craziest computer on the planet Earth, but it's still doing pretty well. The only time that I ever see a little bit of hitching in the performance side of things is when I'm walking into a city, like a town with a lot of people in it. That's the only time I would see the FPS drop down randomly to like 30 FPS, and then it'll go back up to like, you know, the high 40s or 50s. So that's something that obviously Amazon probably needs to work on as far as optimization. Overall though, running around in the world, gathering stuff, fighting mobs, I've had no issues. I'm always at 60 FPS all the time. It's been beautiful. So I have nothing to complain about there. Same thing goes for the server, the latency and everything. I feel like it's perfect. It's been good for me, you know, like, but that's the thing. I'm talking about my personal experience. So before you get triggered and you go, oh, well, it's shit for me over here in Europe, which I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Europe being really terrible right now with their servers. Even Lazy Peon just made a video talking about his experience with it, and he's having a really hard time. So there could be something bad going on over there. But as far as the NAE servers, I've been pretty good. I can't even tell you any time that I've actually had any kind of like rubber band lag or anything like that. Like, it's been great for me. I've noticed that the spawn times are really good now compared to when I was in the closed beta. So that's a really nice change right there. And overall, I've just been having a great time. The biggest thing that I really love about this game is just the sandbox feel of it. Just literally being able to do whatever you want out of the tutorial. You can do anything. Right now, my current play style is to basically, I'm trying to do something different. I didn't grab any of the main quests at all. So I didn't even touch the quest that was there at the beach. I ran past the person and I went and started chopping trees immediately. You know, so the moment I got my hands on an axe, that was it. Like, I was just doing that. I was fishing. I was doing all those things. So I don't have access to a campfire. I don't know if I'm going to have access to ASRock. And I don't know if I'm going to have access to like even dungeons. I don't know. I'll see if that's even a thing, because my goal is to get to level 60 without even joining a faction or doing the main quest line. I want to see if it's possible. So it's just like a personal achievement of mine. So that's what I've been doing during my live streams. But if you're wondering if you should get this game or not, you really have to think about what kind of playstyle you want. If you're looking for like a true, like an action game with a lot of great story and stuff, this is definitely not the game for that. The story still sucks, just like it did during the beta. I mentioned that before. I really don't recommend it for that. If you're into a lot of reading and you're okay with the you know, reading the little journals that you find and stuff like that, and you're okay with like finding achievements and things, then you would probably love this game. And there's a lot of that stuff. The biggest thing that I'm really looking forward to is completing every single achievement possible in the game, on top of leveling all the weapons and leveling all my crafting. And usually in MMOs, I hate crafting. But in this game, I actually enjoy it because it feels practical. It doesn't feel like overly complicated. And I just like how therapeutic it feels to just like chop a tree down or like hit a rock or fish, you know, like I could literally do it for hours, no problem. And I don't know, maybe it's because I'm getting old and maybe this is just what old people do. They just like do like mundane little bullshit tasks, but I'm having a blast with this game. So if you're like me and like the, you know, the gathering and the crafting and the achievements and stuff like that, then you will love this game. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the game if you have it already, and whether or not it's been good to you. Hopefully by the end of the week, queue times will be lower for everyone. That way everyone can get a chance to play it a little bit. But then again, we are going into the weekend, so it's probably going to get a little bit busy. So we'll see what happens. Most likely by next week, the servers are going to die down a lot more, and you'll definitely have more opportunities to get into the game. So there is that. But anyway, at the end of the day, I definitely recommend just going to the lowest population server that you possibly can. Since we have the free server transfers, you could totally take advantage of transferring to the servers where your friends are later on whenever you want to do that. You know what I mean? So I think you're better off just playing the game and enjoying yourself instead of stressing out waiting for hours to get into a server that Asmongold or whatever is playing on. You know, like, screw that. It's just too much. It's too much. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, guys.